What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the 1912 Exiles podcast. We're going to start this week with the big news, following on from last week, is that Mike Flynn will be staying. We were pretty certain on Saturday that Sam Ricketts was going to become the new Shrewsbury manager after Wrexham told him to stay away from our FA Cup tie against them, and yesterday he was confirmed as the new boss. So all of that means that Flynn is staying for now. I think it's a reality we're going to have to get used to, is that there's going to be this speculation around him. As long as we continue to do well and Mike Flynn's stock as an up-and-coming manager stays high, then there's always going to be that interest from teams in bigger divisions looking to take a chance on him. But for now, he's still our boss, and hopefully long may it continue, because I think he's building something special this season. So following on from that, the next piece of big news is that the FA Cup third round has been drawn. So the winner of our replay against Wrexham will be at home to Premier League Leicester City. Again, this is a brilliant draw for us. Similar to the Leeds game last year, we're going to be able to expect a bumper crowd at Rodney Parade, and possibly even having the game televised, which is money in the club's coffers. I looked it up, and for winning the second round, we'll get £54,000. Not including any TV money that we've got from the first game being on BT, and if the replay is on TV as well, we may get a little bit more. And then the prize money on offer for the third round is £135,500. So all of that just before or start of the January transfer window will definitely boost the manager's chances of being able to strengthen the squad through the next transfer window. So, as I mentioned, we are facing Wrexham in a replay. The game on Saturday, I think the manager summed up the positives in his post-match press conference quite well. We played badly with 6 players out injured, most of them in midfield. We kept a clean sheet and we're still in the cup. And also, to add to that, we've got the home replay, which hopefully will see us have another large crowd at Rodney Parade. I don't think we've managed over 3,000 on a Tuesday night game so far this season. So I think the replay may be the first time this season that we managed that. However, it was not a very convincing performance. The positive is we're still in it and we get the chance to do better at home. But the concerning aspect was the performance, really. We were the second best team on the night. We didn't look like the team in the higher division. We struggled to get hold of the ball and get it down and play. There was a lot of long ball, and that may be a tactical decision that the manager was looking to exploit. But the Wrexham defenders seemed to cope with it quite well. Pearson had a very good game for them, and the only reason we're still in this tie is some last-ditch defending and some excellent goalkeeping. There was 2 phenomenal saves from Joe Day that were game-defining, really. But then he followed that on with a moment of madness where he closed down a player and got caught in no man's land and was nearly lobbed, only for the ball to be cleared off the line by Mickey Demetriou. We didn't create anything, which is the concerning aspect, really. I don't think we had a shot on target until Semenyo came on, and it was around the 85th minute. He looked really, really bright when he came on, which is a bonus. I think he probably deserves to at least be starting tonight against Cheltenham in the Checker Trade Trophy. And he did score against them as well when we played them a couple of weeks ago, a 2-1 loss away. But it's not all doom and gloom. Ready for the Wrexham replay. We have the Checker Trade Trophy game tonight against Cheltenham. And on the BT Sport broadcast the other day, Josh Labadie revealed that he's going to get 20 minutes, hopefully. And with him returning, hopefully we can get a few more back and maybe feel the stronger side against Wrexham on the 11th of December when we have our replay. The other problem with having the replay is adding another game to the calendar in an already busy period with a lot of injuries to deal with. So we've got some tough games as well coming up. Our next few are Cheltenham away, Swindon away, Wrexham at home, then the top 2 sides, MK Dons at home and Lincoln City at home. and then Forest Green at home on Boxing Day, and then Crawley Town at home as well. So all of those games in the month of December, it's going to be a very busy period, and I think it's going to take a toll on the legs of the players, especially if we can't get a few of those who are injured back into the side. I think we've shown at points this season that we have the ability to play with the possession that we haven't done in previous seasons. There's those 2 excellent goals that we've scored that have been wonderful team goals. I think the first one was 21 passes and the other one was 19, and it was absolutely beautiful football. And that's what we're capable of when everyone's fit and we get the ball down and play. I think not having Dolan has had a big effect on that. I think his ability to pass the ball is often understated. He, apart from his free kicks, he doesn't really do anything particularly flashy. Although the goal of the month contender last month was certainly up there, but he just keeps the ball moving, and he's almost like that Michael Carrick sort of player that he doesn't beat a lot of players with the ball, but he just keeps possession and keeps things moving in the right direction and sets the rhythm of the side nicely. So I think getting him back will be good. If we can partner Dolan with Backinson and Labadie, or Scott Bennett, who's a longer term injury, but I think we're missing a defensive midfielder at the moment. So if we can get that and then get Dolan back in, we can start playing a bit more with the ball on the deck a bit, and that's going to be good to see. I think getting back to that style of football. I also think Robbie Wilmot's delivery could have made a difference for us against Wrexham the other day. We didn't get anything into the strikers for them to sort of try and put pressure on the defence with. We had a chance early in the first half where Matt could have stuck his foot out and got it, and it's gone past him and then past Ammond at the back post as well. I suppose getting a toe to that makes it 1-0, and it's a completely different game then. But Wrexham, I've got to say, were really unlucky on the night. There was the goal line clearance, 2 excellent saves from Joe Day, who was my man of the match personally. They hit the crossbar, and there was another chance where one of their players turned pipey and smashed it into the side netting. That I think he should have put that away as well. So the positive is that we're still in it, but the negative is we could have very easily been coming home on Saturday night on the back of a heavy loss. They easily could have put 3 past us. We've still got that chance, and Newport, we never like to do things the easy way. So a terrible performance followed by a dramatic 96th minute winner in the replay is probably par for the course for us. So, like I mentioned earlier, we've got Cheltenham in the Checkatrade Trophy tonight. That's another opportunity to get money in the coffers. I believe it's £10,000 for a win. It might be more now that we're in the knockout stages. I looked it up, and Yeovil made it to the semi-final last year, and they made £155,000. So that's the equivalent, if you can get to the semi-final, that is, of a third round in the FA Cup win. So if we can do both of those things, we'd be sitting on a nice pile of cash in the war fund to try and continue to build and look to push on maybe for that third automatic spot in the league this season. I think, like I said last time, the aim now has to be looking at playoffs minimum. We're 20 games through the season, and we're still in there, still challenging. It is very tight in League Two. I think there's only 2 or 3 points between 3rd and 10th. 5 points between 3rd and 10th. So Colchester are 3rd, ahead of us on goal difference, on 35 points, and Forest Green are 10th on 30 points. So a few bad results going against you could see our spot in the league swing dramatically. So it's important, especially in this busy period through December where we've got a lot of games, maintain focused on what we want to achieve. Rest players where we can. I think those players who got a lot of minutes against Wrexham and who are likely to see a lot of minutes on the weekend we'll hopefully get an opportunity to get some rest tonight. But with all the injuries, it's difficult to make these changes because we just haven't got the personnel to come in and replace those who are playing a lot of minutes. Talking of players who have played a lot of minutes, our current top performers in terms of minutes played, Dan Butler's 2,275 minutes, which is almost 38 hours of football. And Mickey Demetriou as well has also played over 2,000 minutes. Padraig Hammond is 1,974. So, and then the next is Fraser Franks and Joe Day. So those guys pretty much consistently play every single game, and at some point it's going to take the toll on them. Scott Bennett was up there with our top minutes played right up until his injury, and I think that it's probably a factor in why he's had this breakdown of his hamstring, I believe, just wear and tear and not enough rest. It's one of those that's always going to be an issue with a small squad, but it'd be a shame for our squad, as talented as I think it is at the moment, of what we've managed to build on limited resources, to have injuries of this type just derail our season. I don't think we will have the same personnel next season. I think some of these players have shown that they're going to be good enough to either move up a level or command more money than they're currently getting paid at the county. I can see Dan Butler definitely making the step up into League One next season, and I think possibly Mickey as well. That someone will take a chance on him and see if he's ready for the step up to League One. He's been consistently one of our best players this season, along with Dan Butler. Franks is under contract for another year, as is Scott Bennett, but we've kind of got a spine of a side for next season with Townsend, Bennett, Franks, Matt is under contract for next season. So we've got the spine of the side for next year. I can see us extending Wilmot because he's a squad player, he's versatile, and all of that is of value. So I think we will be trying to extend him. People may change their minds as the season goes on, but I definitely think the manager will have one eye to the future, certainly in terms of Dan Butler in replacing him, because there may even be a move from a team in January for him because he's been playing that well this season. And that might actually be a best case scenario for us, that we actually get something for him as he's out of contract in the summer. We'd be foolish not to consider any realistic offer for him that comes in January. So that's it from me for this week. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on the Amber Army YouTube channel, we are on Buzzsprout, and we are also on iTunes. Thanks very much for listening. Up the county.